front seat. Dylan Provencher here with my brother Dylan Provencher from the Path Real Estate team. We are super lucky. We have, for some reason, been graciously welcomed into Gary Keller's top agent group for about the past 2 years now.
Yeah, and one of the things they ask us to do is sort of share in the knowledge that we receive with everyone that we think would appreciate it, and that's you guys.
Yeah, and specifically, there was one thing that they shared out with us about a year ago that pertained to a shifting market. There were a number of markets in the States about a year ago.
The writing was on the wall.
Yeah, they were getting beat up pretty bad. Some of them are doing a little better. Some of them are still kind of lost. Either way, though, back when the crash happened in 2008 or 2005 to 2009, whatever you want to call it, he sent out like an all-points bulletin to all the top agents in the company saying what he believed they should do immediately to protect themselves moving into a different market. And it's a 6-point list, but we might split it up. I think we're just going to talk about the first 3 points today.
I think the most important points for right now where we are in Toronto are the first 3 points.
Absolutely, and they're the action items. They're like the do now before you do anything else.
Totally. I think you could sort of split it into like sort of offense and then strategy after.
Yeah.
So anyway,
so we're doing offense today.
That's right.
Stay alive kind of stuff. And
stay alive and thrive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I jump into it?
Yeah, so why don't you read the bullet point and we'll just talk about it a bit.
Totally. Number 1, lower your expenses every month for the next 9 months. Make it a game and acknowledge and reward those who help. Reducing is not a one-time event. You review everything every month from now on till next March. That's this time. It's 9 months from now that you should do it. You'll be surprised at what you miss each time and how once you drop something, you then realize the next month that you can drop it even lower.
This one was one that we were challenged to do by our coach 6 months ago.
I mean, when we read this, we went straight home and started, but it wasn't like, it was like we were sort of using a butter knife on butter, like just taking the top off a little bit. When we started with the coach, it was like, let's cut viciously. And I gotta be honest, it actually really brought on a lot of thoughts. This is one of the biggest points to me, I think, because you just can't earn your way to bad spending habits. And the fact is that by really looking at what you can do to minimize expenses, it forces you to look at your whole business as a business and actually look at what your income is net, not what your gross is. Because everyone can brag about GCI all day.
Who cares?
What you take home is to your family is what's important. That's what actually matters. And the only way to do that is through good spending habits, supplemented with good earning, obviously.
And we're totally transparent with you guys. We didn't have a P&L until less than a year ago. And the truth is, I bet you that 99.9% of real estate agents don't have one.
Yeah.
I bet it's 1 in 1,000 that actually look at their numbers every month. And our coach with MAPS Coaching, Andy Green, sat us down and was just like, you guys run a, what did he ask us? He's like, you run a business, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Would a business have a P&L? We're like, okay, we'll do it. Stop making us feel stupid, right? But man, what a learning experience. Guys, it is sickening how much money we were blowing. I could probably have 2 more houses today if we weren't just throwing money into business.
Conservatively, yeah.
And you'll find items in your budget that bring you literally nothing. Oh, I sponsored a school
or
fair.
literally to tears. It's so rough.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
And guys, here's the thing. I think a lot of people, especially early on in individual agents, get kind of freaked out at the idea of having a P&L, which is a profit and loss statement, because it seems like a daunting amount of work. And I get it. You know what? If you're too busy and you really don't feel like you have the time or money or whatever it is, fine. But carve out 2 times a month where you go through all of your Interact receipts and all of your credit card receipts and whatever cash you take out and just figure out where it's going. Because I don't mind if you spend too much money on wine or food or whatever it is, but just make sure it's going to something that gives you joy if it's not going into the business. And the fact is, the thing that we noticed when we started looking at all our stuff was that there were tons of items we didn't even recognize. Old subscriptions and things. So the point is just be on top of your finances and make sure that for 9 months in a row, starting immediately if possible, you start cutting your budget where you can to actually keep that net profit percentage up as high as you possibly can. I'm going to tell a quick story and then we're going to get on to the next point. I was at a training seminar the other day and there was a guy there who was sitting next to this woman in the States at one of these award luncheons. And this woman wasn't just winning the top income award, she was literally winning Realtor of the Year for her very large region. And she went up, she got it, everyone clapped, and she came back to the table and sat down and just started bawling. And this guy who was teaching the course I was in was like, hey, what's wrong? Like, you should be at the top of your game. This is like the most exciting thing imaginable. And she said that she was 3 months behind on her mortgage payment, and she was literally declaring bankruptcy even though she was the top earner in the district. And it's because she wasn't looking at her actual net profit. She was just chasing this GCI dragon, and that's not the goal of the whole thing. The goal is to have a huge life with you and your family and actually enjoy the money you make and have
This is just to fund it.
This is only to fund it. That's the whole purpose. So to be chasing this crazy GCI thing with no eye on what your actual net profit is the definition of insanity.
Talk about a great example of the bold law. Don't compare your insides to other people's outsides.
No kidding. Everyone would have looked at this person and just thought, oh my God, they have it all.
It's amazing. I can't imagine what her life is like. And it's like trying to lose your calories at the gym and then going home and eating whatever you want all night. You can't do that. You lose your calories you lose your weight in the kitchen kind of thing.
Yeah.
You need to differentiate. If you're spending recklessly, you're never going to make money. There's one other thing I got to mention before we move on to the next point, and that's that this is not a one-time thing. Your budget is not a snapshot once during the entire life of your business. It's a living, breathing thing. So if you're going to make cuts, don't try to cut 15 or 20% of your budget the first time you sit down. Just do 5% every month and see how long you can keep doing that. Most people are able to cut like 20% out of their budget.
We've cut more than that.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is double your lead generation efforts. I'm going to repeat that. Double your lead generation efforts. Sit down with your plans and make strategic decisions right now and execute quickly. Be lean, mean, and move fast. Do you mind if I start on this one?
Yeah. Just say the first line again, though. First.
Double your lead generation efforts.
Okay, go for it.
I gotta say, I think one of the luckiest parts about being in this group and being just in a place where you're always thriving to seek education and better yourself in business is that you have access to more knowledge than just your transaction count because we're all sharing this together. And the most critical portion of that is that you need to react to the knowledge that you're given because there's going to be so many agents right now, especially in this local market or any market that's experiencing a shift, that are just going to kind of go like this and bury their head in the sand and not do anything. And I'm not happy about this, but the fact remains that they're going to burn out of the business. There's just no way that they'll be able to maintain thinking that they're going to price like yesterday for today. That just won't work. So the fact is that the execute quickly and be lean, mean, and move fast, that just really resonates with me because I think that the people who are going to survive this shift and really thrive through it are the people who are going to react the fastest and actually put a plan in place and execute it quickly. We got to pivot.
You got to pivot, and even if you just think of it from the consumer angle, like if you're in a market that does take a major shift, the means of finding clientele that you were using last month might not work for the clientele you need this month. You always need to find the motivated in a shift. And in any market, you want to find the motivated, but in a shift, it's especially important because if they're just like, yeah, put it up, we'll see if it works, maybe I'll sell, you're just going to stock your life with frustrated clients that aren't getting what they want. And the way that you were finding those people last month and getting some success might not be the same place that you're going to find the motivated this month. So be ready to put a number of pans in the fire and see which one heats up first and get ready to jump in with both feet.
And what about the database that you currently have?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. We're just talking about this. And like another great example is you might have a pipeline of business that you've been nurturing from, nurture to lead to appointment. And they were planning to sell under a premise that relied on the market being the way that it was last month. Well, with the market changing, those people might just disappear. It might not even be that their homes. You half your database might just go poof, right? So, in that instance, like, talk about needing to double. Like, we might be not only filling, the immediate pipeline, but everything. So,
flat out, let's just say it one more time before we move on to the next
double
point.
Your lead generation
double
efforts.
Your lead generation efforts,
absolutely.
Period. And do it quickly and right away. All right, and the next one feeds beautifully into this. It's triple your focus on lead conversion to appointments. I'm going to repeat it again. Triple your focus on lead conversion to appointments. Again, sit down with your plans and make strategic decisions right now and execute quickly. The battle will be for the truly motivated buyers and sellers, and there will be a fight for them. Win that fight. Triple your focus on lead conversion to appointments.
And this is going to take some creativity, Again, just going back to like the conversations you're having, the call to actions in your marketing, all of this is up for review in my eyes. Especially like right now, we're kind of on the precipice looking down saying, hey, how far is the bottom? As we, should the market really move in a negative manner, we're going to need to look at everything we do in attraction and conversion for clients and revisit if it's the most realistic thing to be focusing on, if it works with what people are going through right now. Because the goal is that we're going to create this machine that spits out motivated people. You got to look at every part of it.
So it starts with doubling your lead generation and then triple your focus on lead conversion to appointment.
Absolutely.
Because the battle will be over the fact, over those motivated buyers.
Never-ending review of expenses. Guys, I just got to tell you, too, like, looking at expenses, you'll be shocked how many things that you spend money on that bring you nothing.
Or you won't be, and that's awesome. But look, and have a cut goal. I think that's really critical, too. That was the way that we started, and I think that it's really important to have a percentage point in mind. I want to go at 5% this month, and then another 5 next month, and another 5 next month.
You know, just one little thing while we talk about converting new types of leads and focusing and doubling our efforts and tripling our efforts and adding in all this, research side of things where we're trying to cut expenses. It's a lot of work, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. The truth is, though, while, we're in a position where should the market continue to be disfavorable for a little while, we're going to be working really hard. The opportunity in a down market is unparalleled. Every single agent I know that's worked through a shift and is still here today, who I have a lot of respect for, and I've reached out to a bunch of people, all of them said that they had their best years in a down market. Now, did they bust their hinds, like just getting through it? Absolutely.
Sure,
yeah, it was the hardest years of their business, but it was also the best.
Let's run through the percentage points for a second.
This is from the Shift book, one of the best books on real estate, and if you haven't reread it right now, you're crazy.
And if you haven't read it, go buy it immediately.
Go buy it and read it. Imagine, Dylan, you're in a market, easy math, let's just say that 100 homes sell every month.
Sure.
Okay? And you have, 20 listings that sell every month. What's your market share?
20%.
You got a 20% market share. Now, it's a down market all of a sudden, and the number of transactions goes from 100 down to 50. Okay? You bust your neck and you keep your 20 transactions every month. Did you grow your business?
Yeah, up to 40%, because 20 out of 50 would equal 40%.
Yeah, so you've actually just kept doing the same amount of business, but you've doubled your market share.
Okay.
Now, sure, maybe you're not rolling in money, but you're in a market where less homes are selling, so there are going to be less agents fighting over them, and people are going to be dropping their licenses.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen when the market starts to go back up?
If I maintain my 40%?
Yeah, like let's say that the market goes up to, 200 listings a month a year later.
Well, even if it just went up to the 100 listings a month, like if it went just back to normal, if you were at 40% market share and that's what you were holding on to, with really no extra effort, you would have 40 listings instead of the 20 you started with before the shift.
Yeah. And you're carrying double the market share you had before.
So strategically, it's a huge move as well.
Strategically, this is the moment of opportunity. I know that it might mean we're in for a little bit of work here, and who knows, this might just be a blip like it was in Vancouver. I'll tell you, I've always wanted to fight out in a down market and have a market where we really have the opportunity to prove our worth and, do a great job for people and change the outcome of their lives when they're dealing in real estate. Like, a market that is down and hard, you could actually lose your shirt just working with the wrong agent.
Yeah.
So,
and the fact is too is that I really have to say that in a shift, the tough conversations are going to separate the good agents from the bad agents. And those tough conversations you're having with the clients, I've heard some really scary stuff out of people's mouths, and I really love these people. They've said stuff like, oh, well, they'll just wait till it rebounds. Well, the last major shift we had, it took like 10 years to rebound from. So I think that as professionals, I'm not saying it will be or it won't be. I'm just saying that I think it's important that we have those conversations with our clients and say, look, like, what does this look like in the last 10 years for you? Because a lot of the people that we're representing have made a ton of money already, and they can cash out now and not lose any more. But if they hang on for too long, it could be a real ugly scene. So, I'm not
a prime example in the United States was the shift that started in 2005.
They just got back from.
They just got back last year, up to 223,000 average home price.
12 years, guys. Like 12 years.
12 years.
And again, we don't know. I don't know. But I'm just saying.
Think about how much a family changes in 12 years. I mean, that could be a whole new generation.
Yeah.
That could be, no more parents. It's just crazy. So if you need to make a move in order to accommodate your life plans, sitting on the fence and waiting right now is not really a great idea. It can get a lot worse.
Well, especially if it's the agents recommending it, just wait for the bounce back. Like, I don't think any of us are equipped, and I don't think really anyone's equipped to guess. So,
either way, I mean, the message from Gary is loud and clear. tighten your boots and get ready for a fight.
And tighten your pocketbook, double your lead generation efforts, and triple your lead conversion to appointments. That's the battle that's going to change for the motivated buyers and sellers, and that's where we need to win, front seat.
Absolutely. And we're going to do a follow-up to this video where we talk a little bit about strategic things that you can focus on now to make you even stronger coming out of this.
And we wanted to split them up because this segment is really incredible for all agents, period. But the next one is going to be a little bit more geared towards team building and team ownership strategy. So awesome for everyone to listen to, but this one's just so important for everyone to hear immediately.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Have an awesome week.
Awesome.